TikTokers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're doing very well. Okay, I am ready to talk what we are going to talk today in this video. First of all, I just got out of the shower. Before people say the hair is greasy, the hair is clean. Before you come for me. Okay, and before I get into that, I do just want to say I like keeping a level of transparency when I film my videos. Right now, I am on the edge of the worst panic attack I've probably ever had in my life. I feel so shaky and I feel very faint today. I'm not in it today. So before people maybe come in the comments and be like, Adam's off in this video, I'm being fully transparent at the start of this video and saying that I had a really bad panic attack before filming and I just feel kind of antsy. And so that's not going to stop me from filming because I enjoy filming so much and I'm very excited to talk about this topic because it has people split. So without further ado, let's get into that. So we are going to be talking about Donna. Now, Donna is Donna Klein, Ethan Klein's mother. And Donna ended up in a little bit of controversy, as in a big bit of controversy, because Trisha Paytas tweeted out that basically Donna put this curse on them. And if you were watching my videos last week, we did a video on this. It's like Trisha Paytas attacks Donna Klein or something like that. And I say what I believe that Donna said to Trisha in this text. So Trisha was saying, what you texted Moses is the most evil thing to ever put on someone. If I'm a weasel, you're Satan for putting that energy out there. You're an evil woman with what you wrote. It's unspeakable to put that burden on me. It's the worst karma. So Trisha was very much so talking that Donna was evil, put a curse on them, a big burden. And I was being a little bit probably what I shouldn't have, because in the video that I filmed on it, I speculated, which I probably shouldn't have, on what I believed that the text was, and turns out that the speculation was correct. I said in that video that I believed that, as horrible as it sounds, Donna probably mentioned something along the lines that, you're fighting back and forth with Ethan, and Ethan's wife, Ela, is pregnant with twins, and they had a really hard time getting pregnant. I'm pretty sure it was IVF, and this is bad for the pregnancy. It's bad for any pregnancy. So if anything happens to the baby, and you know what I mean, this affected it. This was a big reason for it. And I speculated that, and it turns out that that was right. Donna did a really big power move that I'm actually shocked, but not shocked that she did. On the families, Donna is like, okay, if the text is so bad, I don't know why Trisha, didn't just put it out there. Trisha is saying that they don't want to put that energy out there. But a lot of people were speculating that Donna was maybe talking about Trisha being pregnant or Trisha being pregnant in the future. And it's just very, very, very messy. And obviously we know which one is true now because Donna says it. But it's very interesting because people are split. I'm seeing a lot of commentary boys on Twitter who obviously don't like Ethan. Fair. Are saying that this is the worst thing that Donna could have ever said, how evil this is, to put that burden on someone, kind of reiterating what Trisha's saying. First of all these people say much worse things about everyone else, but, there's a big community that's saying that. And then there's another community of people saying that, okay, stripping back emotions, stress is not good for a pregnancy. Ethan is involved in this, Trisha is involved in this, Ela's involved, in the sidelines, Donna's involved in this. Regardless of any of that, whoever side you're on, there's a pregnant woman, pregnant with twins, and stress is not good for that. Now, Donna's text, we're going to get to it now. Let me actually just do that so we can start getting to proper opinions. So they immediately started reading out, what the text was. And Donna says something interesting that was basically just like, Trisha, if it's so bad, why didn't you tweet it out? Here we go.
It is the worst karma. And then she continues. She said,
I wonder why she just didn't post what I said. Maybe because she knows everyone's going to take the steam out of their balloon.
I'll continue. She said,
the air out of their balloon.
What Ethan's mom texted Moses after our fight was the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. I'm tormented with it daily. I won't even speak what she wrote because I refute that energy. That negative bad energy is something that paralyzed me now and then. I mean, she's clearly not paralyzed by it. She's literally...
And Adam pointed out that she called another YouTube.
Thanks, Donna. Donna's going to get me in trouble.
A weasel.
Oh, she has.
She has.
Okay, that's an interesting point. Donna said that in my video, or on my Twitter, I think in both, yeah, I stated how, Trisha is calling Donna a weasel, but Trisha also called Ryland a weasel. And so it's just, the same words keep coming up. And, a lot of people, including myself, are like, how strong is Trisha's arguments against other people? If we're seeing the full thing play out here, and we now know the text, we know that Trisha reacts this way for this. Does Trisha react this way for this with Shane, with Ryland? Interesting. So Donna reads out the text message. And again, I think she kind of had to because, Trisha supporters, Trisha watchers, even just H3 watchers were like, what did Donna say? Even in my video, I was like, do I believe that Donna said something evil? I'm sure she said something very horrid, because this is the mother who is stressed about their grandkids. I'm not saying it excuses it in any way. It's not a nice text to receive or send, but Trisha and Ethan are still battling online, which is therefore affecting Hila's pregnancy. Is Ethan responsible for that as well? Absolutely. Ethan is making things with Trisha, even though he's just responding. It's a back and forth and back and forth. None of this is good for a pregnancy. So people are like, Adam, what side are you on? What side are you on? I don't like anything being put out there about what was put out there. However, in my opinion, as a mother, the text that she reads out basically says that, if anything happens to this pregnancy, based on the stress that's being put on from, these parties, that, Donna is going to put that on Trisha. And of course, that's a horrible, horrible, horrible thing to say. But it's interesting because Trisha seems to have pulled back a little bit from making videos, from making TikToks. So it seems like that horror shock, that bad message really has, reiterated, and hopefully to Ethan too. Your wife is pregnant, both of y'all. So let's just hear what Donna said to Texas.
Ethan ran my mom and said, okay, here we go. Please. I don't need to get into all this, but I'm livid, I'm angry, I've been carrying this evil, ugly burden she placed on me, blaming me for an unspeakable thing. She's evil. I just have never encountered anyone put such an evil burden on me. A curse on your family. Something to even write unfathomable. Okay, so Trisha's been she's been talking about like, what is this thing that you told her? I think we should
Okay.
I can read it.
Yeah, let's just read it.
It must be so horrific. You'll put out some kind of warning before.
Okay, let me give you a little bit of a backstory.
Okay.
When I tweeted,
It's interesting as well, and I don't mean to keep interrupting. However, you're watching this video, so if you want to watch this in full length, go watch that. It's just interesting to me that Trisha never tweeted it out. Because for Trisha to tweet it out doesn't mean that Trisha's putting the energy out there, right? Trisha is just showing what the text was, what Donna has now done. So what's Trisha's response to, or reaction to Donna putting that out? You know what I mean?
I tweeted a private message to Moses.
No. You texted him.
No, it was on Messenger.
Okay, but you didn't tweet it.
No.
You said tweet.
Oh, did I? I didn't mean that.
Yeah,
I sent a private message.
Yeah.
No, I do. I sent it on
Tweet
Messenger.
a message.
Well, it was on Messenger. It's private.
And what's the difference between
Well, tweet, everybody can read it.
Okay, I'll
Right?
accept that. That's the only difference.
No.
That's an interesting point as well. This was never meant to be a public thing. Who made it public? Who tweeted about it? Regardless of whose side you're on, who tweeted it out? That they received this awful text and Donna's a bitch and a witch and, all like this.
This is before families even existed. Okay? And,
Before you were a celebrity.
okay, if that's what you want to call
Yeah,
it.
and all of our personal interactions with her have been fine. They were over to your house for Passover, and we were very cordial, and everyone was friendly.
There was a little bit of a beef when me and Trisha were talking about that the food was bad, and I know that upset you guys, which I accept.
That's very interesting as well, because if you think about it, we were hearing about Donna and Gary for a while about these Passover things, and they are not what I expect them to be that we're seeing on this podcast. Okay, let me see what this text
family
is.
of your family. So it's your family, but it's a little more extended. And whenever we went, the few times that we were with Trisha, it was the last time I think was a holiday, a Jewish holiday. It was at your home, yours and Hila's home, and she was there with Moses. Before that, before Moses even started dating her, we at our house. I think it's when we were in the apartment. In doesn't know.
Okay, where?
Well, whatever.
Oh, no way.
Yes. We had a big round table. Remember, we were all so squished.
That was so long ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Well,
Okay.
I knew her.
That's like, no.
I thought you
So
were-
this is them saying that, they've met Trisha before this. However, this text was a long time ago. You can have your own opinion on what you believe that adds to the context or not. Okay, so let's get to what this text message was, and we can have a conversation below on how you feel it is. Is this what Trisha described it as? Is it personal? Is it private?
Horrified.
Is it public?
I know that you were texting
It was
Moses.
It was one time.
But you know what? I also, on the other hand, I get it. I get why you sent it.
Well, I was so upset because of some of the things that she had just
Okay,
said.
go ahead, read it.
I sent a private message on Messenger to Moses.
You texted Moses. I mean, it's
Well,
not.
I didn't really text. Is it called texting?
Yes.
Messaging? Okay.
Donna,
All right.
yes.
This is, everybody,
Go ahead.
this is what I wrote.
Cover your ears. This is it.
I
Worst
know.
thing you've ever
Most
heard.
horrible thing I've ever heard. Okay.
Well,
Moses.
okay.
I'm actually going to slow this part down because we're on 2 speed. Here we go. This is the infamous text message, everyone. Opinions.
Moses, if your sister has a miscarriage because of this stress, I will hold you and Trisha responsible. Stop this nonsense. Enough. That's what I wrote.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Miss.
All right. My honest opinion, and I'm taking this as if I was presented with this information. I don't know who Donna is. I don't know who Trisha is. I don't know who Ethan is. I'm seeing these people fighting online. I'm seeing that the mother has responded. I know of many mothers who would not send a message saying if this stress, causes this, we're going to remember it and we're going to remember what happened in the timeline. I know a lot of mothers would not be that open for interpretation, or at least, you know what I mean. I know of a lot of mothers who would tweet or text something a lot more aggressive, a lot more, a lot more blaming, a lot more Trisha. We're not saying the people, but a lot more whatever the person's name is. Not just if this stress. And I mean, if a mother is seeing this amount of stress, and we're now knowing that this is happening back, obviously, when Frenemies was, just like icky stage, and before that, it's not recent. So it's not like what we were almost being told, that Donna was dogpiling on and sending Moses this text and how evil this is. Regardless, you can have your opinion on the content of the text. It's not a nice text to receive. But, sorry, I need to burp. That wasn't me. But it's not a nice text to have to send either. Can you imagine being a mother and having to go to the point of messaging Moses and being like, this stress is getting too much. Stop it. This is going too far. Lord Almighty, maybe an unpopular opinion, but I believe that many other people would send a harsher text. That's not minimizing that this is not a nice text to receive or one to send. However, it's not the worst thing that could have been phrased or directed. In my opinion, it's still quite open. If this stress, you need to sort this out, as opposed to, there is a fucking fly. It's Trisha doing surveillance of my fucking house trying to shut me up. It could have been a lot more intense. It could have been 2 paragraphs. It could have been longer. My overall opinion of it, and again, you may say Adam's opinion goes with the herd or whatever like that. Look on Twitter. A lot of people are very against this text and almost on Trisha's side. But regardless of anything, not nice at all. Could have been so much more direct. Could have been so much more worse. Do I believe it is what Trisha was describing as? I think Trisha, the emotions were overpowering a lot more. This text was very open to Moses as well. This text was very open to the situations at hand a while ago. Again, you are open to have your opinion of this. And I'm also aware that I don't have a uterus. People say no uterus, no opinion. This thing that can happen is one of the worst things that can happen ever. I completely get that. I honestly was just shocked that that was what Donna's text was. It wasn't anything more, and it wasn't anything less. In my video, I said that Donna probably sent a really nasty text, because I don't know Donna. I don't know what she's capable of saying, but I know that she's a mother who's probably very stressed out about this, and if families wasn't even a thing, it makes sense. It's open towards stop this stress, stop this madness. Trisha is able and allowed to be upset about it. There's also that side about it. Calling Donna a bitch, a witch, fucking all these things for a mother probably being very scared that they might lose their grandkid that is on the way. Maybe that's an unpopular opinion. Maybe you won't agree with me. Maybe you will. But that's honestly what my take is on this. I'm open to reading the conversations, or the conversations in the comments. I want to hear where you're at with it. But just personally, from what Trisha was describing, I thought we were going to have an essay from Donna nitpicking everything about Trisha and how dare this and how dare that and more. I want to know where you're at with it. We'll talk about it below. It's still not nice to cover. It's still not a nice conversation to have. However, I talked about speculating what it was. Now we know what it is. All right. This is me now opening up the conversation to you. What do you think? We'll talk about it below, like we did when we were speculating. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really, really, really appreciate it. I hope you're all well, and yeah, stay safe, stay well, and drink some water, and please get a good night's rest. I need one. Bye. Mwah.